Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I came up again with day 6 Think in English challenge. And here one more thing I would like to share with you all. If you want to follow this challenge of Think in English, you can see my video from day 1, and these are the videos that is going to help you all to start Think in English. So without wasting any further time of yours, let's get into this video. So here I'm going to talk about only one particular thing that is going to help you all to start think in English. And what is that particular thing? In order to think in English, we need to expose ourselves with English. Something or the other, we just need to try to speak in English more and more. That is the onlyest one thing that is going to help us to start think in English, because without exposing ourselves, without making ourselves to speak in English, tell me one thing, would you be capable to think in English? Absolutely not. So what you need to do in a day, whenever you get opportunity, for example, my brothers both can understand English. So whenever I talk to them, I always try to talk to them in English. They just understand whatever I'm saying. So the same thing you need to do. And how you're going to expose yourself more, how you're going to do that? First, that is very important, by talking to your own self. This one, because whenever I get free time, whenever I get spare time, I never ever miss that opportunity to talking to my own self. I always try to speak something or the other to my own self. I won't find any kind of difficulties in it, because the more we are going to talk to ourselves in English, the better clarity, and we will become very comfortable with it. The more you're going to speak in English, the more you will become very comfortable at it. You won't find any kind of difficulties to speak in English. And the same thing you need to do. You just need to try to expose a lot means a lot in English. Make sure that you're going to speak all of the things in English. Whatever you do, you're just going to speak about it in English. And these are the things. Here I'm going to talk about more things that is going to help you to expose a lot with English. The first one, that you can become a teacher. And becoming a teacher, it doesn't require that you need to become good at something. No, here you don't need to become good at something. What you can do, you can just pick any random topic, and after picking those random topics, you can make a dry run. What is dry run? Before talking about that topic, you can just rehearsal it, practice it few times, so that you won't find any kind of difficulties to express about it. And what you can do, either you can create a video of yours the way I'm creating this video, and or you can do just pretending like that you are a teacher and there are a lot of people sitting in front of you. So the same thing you need to do. Either you can create a video of yours, or you can pretend that there are a lot of people sitting in front of you, and you are going to teaching them, you are going to giving them a lesson. That, so the same thing you're gonna do. And the second thing that I can do, that is to express my feelings. And how? I'm gonna give you the example. So many times I do this, and I just want you to just follow it. It gonna be very amazing if you're gonna do it. You're gonna definitely enjoy it. When I'm telling you, genuinely you're gonna enjoy it. What, for example, in our day-to-day life, sometimes we do household chores. Why we are denying it? We all do household chores. So what you can do while doing that household chores, for example, my grandmother, she has given me the order that go inside the kitchen and do the dishes. So what am I going to do? I'm going to obey her. That is the first thing that I'm gonna do. But after obeying her, when I was performing that real task, that is doing the dishes, what am I going to do at that time? I'm just going to express my feelings. How am I feeling at that time when I'm doing dishes? Whatever I'm feeling, I'm just going to express about it. For example, maybe I have completed my task, whatever I have written down in my to-do list, I've accomplished all those tasks. I would feel very happy because I have done my today's task. while doing that household chores, I'm going to express my feelings to myself that now I'm feeling very happy because I have completed my to-do list. Whatever I have written down in my to-do list, I have accomplished all those things. So I would feel very happy about it. And while expressing my feelings, I'm going to just express about it that I'm feeling good because I have done something good. I've done something worthy today because I have accomplished my task, and at the same time, I'm obeying my grandmother. Whatever she said to me, I'm just obeying her. Yeah. So the same thing you're gonna do. You can just express your feelings. How do you feel at that time when you are doing that work? You need to understand this the more you're going to feel, because mostly in our day-to-day life, most of the time we are thinking something or the other. The thing is that we are thinking in our mother tongue. So you need to understand, whenever you are thinking in your mother tongue, you just need to make sure that you are going to replace your language into English. Make sure that, because whenever you are thinking in Hindi, maybe whatever your mother tongue is, make sure that whenever you are thinking in your mother tongue, you are going to replace into English. Force yourself that I want to think in English, because the more I'm going to expose myself with English, the better command, the better clarity I'm going to get over this language. And this is going to be the very simplest step that you can do in order to think in English and in order to speaking in English. What is think in English? Think in English means when your mind stop thinking in your mother tongue, when you stop doing translation. And how it is going to happen? Once you start exposing yourself a lot in English. Yeah, you just need to understand about it. The more you're going to expose yourself, that is the onlyest thing that's going to help you to start think in English. So you should make sure that each and every day you are going to remind your own self that I'm just going to speak in English. At home, most of the time I speak in English. My siblings, they don't find any kind of difficulties to understand English. So I usually, most of the time, I talk to them in English, and they all understand it, and sometimes they reply me in English. And my grandfather, he also knows a little bit English. He also doesn't find any kind of difficulties. So what am I doing right now? I'm just exposing a lot with English. This thing I have learned, the more you're going to expose yourself, the more you're going to speak in English, because the most important thing is to speak in English. And would you imagine speaking in English without trying speaking in English? Yeah, in order to speak in English, you'll have to do practice. You'll have to expose more and more in English. And this is how it's going to work for you. And one more thing that I just want to tell you, in your initial stage, it might get difficult. Absolutely. It might get difficult, but what you need to do, sometime when I think about my back then, when I think about my initial stage, I came across that I couldn't realize how did I start think in English. Trust me, I couldn't realize. In your initial stage, when you are putting efforts, when you are doing a lot of efforts towards it, you might feel that it's difficult, it's very painful. But once you start doing it, once you are doing all these things in regular basis, it's gonna become very easier for you. Your pain gonna come down, and you would realize that right now I'm not forcing myself to think in English. Right now I'm speaking comfortably in English. I'm not finding any kind of difficulties. And the same thing is going to happen with you all. Right now you might feel this is going to be very challenging, but trust me, once you start speaking more and more in English, it is going to be very easier for you. You won't even realize that how you're going to start think in English. It's going to work in that way, because I have experienced it. I didn't realize it that when did I start thinking in English? And the same thing is going to happen with you all. You just need to understand it that I just need to do a struggle for a few days, maybe 10 to 15 days. And after 10 to 15 days, you would become very familiar. You would become very familiar talking in English. Sometimes, rarely you find difficulties, but most of the time, you won't find any kind of difficulties. You can speak about it anything in English. And this is how you're gonna expose yourself with English a lot. Hope you found this video very informative. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And share this video with your friends and family members so that they will also get the idea how to start think in English. And let's call it a day. I will come back again with day 7. That is going to be the last day of Think in English challenge. Be ready for that day. I will come up with something amazing that's gonna help you all to start Think in English. Radhe Radhe to you all. I'll see you soon in the next video. Till then, keep watching, keep improving, and keep enjoying the process of learning this language.